the disputed presidential ballot and is asking for international technical assistance to ensure a credible outcome. And the Egyptian Prime Minister is appealing for a peaceful national dialogue against the backdrop of clashes that left some 15 people dead. For details of this and other happening on the African continent, we go with this roundup of news.
Democratic Republic of Congo's Independent Electoral Commission suspends publication of the results of the parliamentary elections, which followed the recent presidential vote. The Commission appealed for international technical assistance to ensure the outcome is credible. The European Union has warned it would withdraw financial support for DR Congo if the Commission could not deliver an improvement. IMF President Christine Lagarde concludes her Africa tour with a visit to Niger. In talks with President Issoufou, the consequences of the world economic crisis on countries in Africa, and particularly the impact on youth unemployment. Madame Lagarde admitted to legislators in Niger that the outlook for 2012 is looking gloomy. She urged policymakers to build on the advantages of mineral reserves and raw materials. Egyptian Prime Minister Kamal al-Ganzouri makes an appeal for a peaceful national dialogue. The Premier called on Egyptians to have a united approach to safeguard the economy. At the same time, al-Ganzouri promised not to stay in office any longer than is necessary. His broadcast follows clashes between security forces and anti-government demonstrators, which left 15 dead. Off the coast of Nigeria, the equivalent of 40,000 barrels of crude oil floating in the Atlantic. The oil slick, around 100 kilometers off the coast, came from a leak from an offshore oil rig. The Shell Corporation, which operates the rig, says all efforts are being made to limit damage, including spraying dispersants. The spills believed to have occurred as oil was being transferred to a tanker.
At least 60 people were left dead and hundreds others injured when as many as 14 bombs went off in various locations in the Iraqi capital Baghdad. The explosions, which occurred during the early morning rush hours, underline the political crisis that is brewing in the conflict-weary nation as a result of sectarian differences between rival politicians. We have more in this report.
Baghdad was ravaged by a series of bomb attacks this morning. At least 60 people were killed and hundreds wounded. As many as 14 bombs went off in different locations throughout the capital. The attacks were the deadliest in months.
We are citizens, innocent people. What have we done? If the politicians are powerless to do anything, they should step down.
The explosions occurred during the morning rush hour. Both car bombs and improvised explosive devices were used. The targets were mostly Shiite neighborhoods. These attacks remind Iraqis that their lives are still in danger.
My little girl was in bed sleeping. She woke up to find herself covered in broken glass. She's terrified. Why is security and stability impossible in this country?
No one has yet claimed responsibility for the attacks, but they come as the government struggles to resolve a political crisis following the issue of an arrest warrant for the Sunni vice president. Sunni ministers are boycotting the National Assembly. They accuse Nouri al-Maliki, a Shiite, of monopolizing power.
We'll take our second break now. Sports is next. Giants Sokoda have booked a place in the finals of the ongoing zonal championship with a 4-2 penalty shootout win over debutant Manjai. The two sides could not be separated in regular times, with the game ending in a goalless draw. Our Babakar Senghor reports Sokoda's success over Manjai and shows they will face rivals Lamin in a fiercely Kombono derby on Saturday at the Independence Stadium.
A prospective Fiesti Combonot local derby is the huge payback for the Gambia Football Association barely 2 weeks after the first ball was kicked in this year's zonal championship. The Combonot side ensured they will play in the finals on Saturday after a 4-2 post-shootout win over brave debutants Manjai. Sukuta will now face off with Combonot rivals Lamin following on their impressive 2-1 win 24 hours earlier over Banjul. It was a game that yet again proved the popularity of the tournament among locals, with hundreds of spectators ringed around this east perimeter fence to watch the mouth-watering encounter. Both sides played their part in a hugely entertaining encounter, much to the delight of the many fans in the park. Sukuta bossed much of the first half play, providing the Manjai defense numerous questions throughout the opening minutes. The first half was full of inventive play, incisive passing, but was slightly devoid of the crucial breakthrough. Manjai remained defiant, producing quality play at both ends of the park, with the second half providing the two sides a final act to produce a spectacle. It was Manjai that posed the most serious threat to their opponent's goalmouth. The Sukuta penalty area was the scene of a melee on a number of occasions, as they employed a trench-like warfare, defending deep with bodies and hitting Manjai on the break. But the Combo North side will have been well beaten by this time if it weren't for the bravery of goalkeeper Alaji Nyabali. The Baka United and former national under-20 goalkeeper taught us what many of us already knew, the parading of his immense talents on the most important stage. Twice he kept his team in the game with some outstanding saves to deny Manjai a vital breakthrough. Nyabali, however, saved his best till the end, when the two teams could not be separated in regular time, went to penalty shootout to find a winner. Nyabali saved 2 spot kicks to send his side to the finals against an outstanding Lamin side, reminiscing the first decade that brought about their maiden zonal championship trophy. Both sides won this competition once. Sukuta bettered Lamens years later, and both sides claiming some high-profile scalps along the way. So the hugely followed zonal championship has reached the home stretch. With two sides in Lamen and Sukuta, the two finalists, the question now is, who among the two will make it a record 2? Super Saturday will provide us with the answers. The theaters for this saying.
Well, a reminder again, the Kanilai Family Farms informs its esteemed customers and the general public of the availability of high-quality cooking oil for sale with effect from today, Friday, 23rd December 2011, at the State House outlet. The retail price for a cup of oil is $9.50 butut, while the price for the 20-liter drum is pegged at $880 at the State House outlet and $900 at any other outlet. Kanilai Family Farms wishes everyone a happy Christmas. And before we go, a recap of our headline-making stories. Ministers, permanent secretaries, and other high-ranking technocrats have secluded themselves in Kanilai for another quarterly cabinet retreat supervised by Professor Jame. The 4-year National Development Plan that succeeds the PRSP2 DOP page, or the Program for Accelerated Growth and Employment, has hit the road running. Continuing clashes between demonstrators and the Egyptian security forces have left at least 14 people dead.